special pleasure to be able to say that to be able to announce now that the National Trust for Historic Preservation has named the New York State Pavilion a national treasure, which is the special designation the Trust gives to structures that are critical to our architectural, social, political, and cultural history, the kind of buildings we could not imagine being without. The designation as a national treasure hopefully will raise national awareness of the pavilion and make it easier to raise the funds that are needed for restoration, as well as to devise a viable plan for reuse. But Philip Johnson, the architect, was as interested in celebrating technology as in raising our spirits. The building had the world's largest suspended roof. You can still see the cables, although not the plastic panels. There were once 50,000 colored plastic panels supported around the perimeter by these 100-foot-high concrete columns. It was a beautiful composition of rounded, curving forms. The main tent, the circular theater, and those three incredible towers, 60 feet, 150 feet, and 226 feet high. The New York State Pavilion was the finest architectural achievement of the 1964 World's Fair. But preserving it is about something much more than saving a memory from half a century ago. It's also an exhilarating public building that stands as a reminder that not all of the civic architecture we made in the 1960s was harsh and cold. Some of it was lovable and wonderful. And now the Tent of Tomorrow, as it was called, has the potential to be a new civic symbol for the resurgent Queens, as well as a vital public building within one of the city's greatest parks. For a long time, the future of this building was a question mark. But in time, it will not be a question mark at all. I think it will be a different piece of punctuation. It will be a great exclamation point in the middle of a resurgent Queens. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you so much for that designation. That designation will truly help us in our efforts to raise funds to preserve this beautiful, iconic structure. But I should say that even with unlimited funding, it's only thanks to some very civic-minded volunteers with a passion for history that we're able to offer the public tours that we're doing today. Several years ago, a gentleman named John Puro had an idea to paint the Tent of Tomorrow back to the original red and white stripes and the yellow that you see today. He contacted his friend Mitch Silverstein, and the rest is history. The Pavilion Paint Project was born, and its volunteers are here today to make the Tent of Tomorrow accessible to you all. Some of the volunteers include Stephanie Bond, Thomas Belusian, Gary Miller, Jim Bound, Ed Gossett, Olga Fernandez, Chris Kelberg, and Richard Post. I want to thank them. I've been seeing them out here over the years, and particularly in the past month or so to get this place ready for today. So thanks to the Pavilion Project, all day until 2, maybe 3, we'll be offering tours in the pavilion because the lines have been really long. There's clearly been a lot of interest in this.
It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world. Woo!
Thank you, Madam President. You grace us not only with your presence, but with your voice, and I thank you very much. I'm going to do this. We're going to invite the members of the dais and the committee to meet us over by the entrance. We're going to take one photo, and then we're going to open the doors and offer the public tours. I want to thank Janice Melnick and John Krawchuk. Janice Melnick is the administrator of the park, and John Krawchuk, our director of historic preservation. So we need to get our hard hats with members of the committee and the dais. Thank you.
How do we get in another time? It's always got to be open? How do we get
I know, technically we don't count for anything, but
Take a walk. Take it.